I'm Chris from the Silver Symbol channel, and in today's video I'm going to try to demystify and give you some tips on renting an aerial lift. First question is, why would you even rent one of these? Just use a ladder. Well, first off, ladders are super dangerous. Now if you're only going up 6 or 8 feet, go ahead and use a ladder, but if you've ever tried to go to the second floor of a house, it is a pretty scary experience, and a better option is to consider renting an aerial lift. Now you'll see these at job sites, but these are becoming more and more popular with homeowners for good reason. They are the easiest and safest way to do almost every job that involves getting up to a higher position. The first one is, don't think about the equipment failing. If you're constantly thinking the thing is going to collapse or tip over, you are never going to be comfortable using your lift. These lifts are built using hydraulic systems. Now hydraulics are nothing new, and they're built for safety. Even if a hose completely gets cut or bursts, the lift will not just collapse. It will slowly go to the ground, or it would at least remain locked in its position. The best tip for getting over a fear of heights is to simply use the lift, but do it in smaller increments. Don't just go right up to 60 feet. That is really high up. I'm most often using a lift anywhere between 20 and 40 feet. And once you've gotten to 10 feet, go up to 15 feet and get a comfort level and keep going from there. You will be surprised that after a little bit of use, most people will be able to go up quite a bit higher. Now, I made a previous video when I installed my Starlink tower, and I used a rental lift back then, and many people noticed that I was not wearing what's called a safety harness. Now, part of the reason for that was that I wasn't given one from the rental company at the time, but I also forgot to ask. Rental companies will rent their equipment to homeowners as well as professionals. Now, many pros are going to just buy their own safety harness. As a homeowner, you're likely not going to own a safety harness, so just make sure that you're asking the rental company if they're going to provide one with you as part of the rental. Now, they're not the most fashionable thing, and as you can see here, I was putting mine on. The safety harness does two things. You're going to put it on your own body, and it holds onto you. Then, using a cord, you're going to connect to the lift itself, and this is there in case you did fall off. You would be attached to the lift, and yes, you would be hanging, but it would certainly prevent a worse injury. Now, with the safety stuff out of the way, let's talk about the equipment. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they rent these things is they just call a rental shop, ask them for a lift. Typically, they're focused on the height of the lift, but most people don't realize that not only do lifts come in different varieties, they have many different options that can make a huge difference for you as a homeowner. The first type is often called a cherry picker. Those are typically referred to as aerial lifts, boom lifts, or even a man lift. And that's typically what you're going to rent as a homeowner. The other type of lifts are really designed for places like warehouses, scissor lifts, things that can operate on very flat or hard ground. That is rarely what you're going to have at your house. Once you've decided on a boom lift, the next thing you need to figure out is, do you need a version that can be towed, or do you need a model that can be driven on its own? These self-drive machines are awesome. These wheels are typically driven by hydraulics built into the machine, and these come in a couple of varieties as well. They've got four-wheel drive that allows you to drive pretty much on any type of terrain, but they've even got models that have four-wheel steering. That extra control can make a huge difference. When I put that Starlink tower out behind my barn, having that four-wheel steering was phenomenal. I could corner right around the back and get right up to the exact spot that I wanted to put the tower in. And you might be a little surprised, I didn't even talk about the height of the lift. I'd recommend that you look at models that can go anywhere up to about 45 feet. 45 feet should be able to reach the top of a 3-story house or well onto the roof. The other common misconceptions about lifts in general are that they're really difficult to operate. It's actually just the opposite. These lifts have been redesigned over the years to be super easy to operate. The one I've got here goes up to 45 feet. You can see it's really compact, and this is a self-driving model. And this entire machine can be run by this control panel. But how can one joystick run both the drive of the machine and the lift? You simply press the drive button here, and then the joystick operates the machine's drivability. If you want to control the boom system, all you've got to do is press the boom button that you want, and now that same joystick switches over. That's another common myth. People think it's hard to level these machines, or they're going to tip over while they're up in the air. But that is a super rare occurrence, because fortunately most of these rental lifts are designed to be super rugged, easy. This one has these things called outriggers. It's got 4 of them, and when they lower down to the ground, they will lift the machine up in the air. Now that might seem a bit weird because now the tires are going off the ground, but that is designed so that the outriggers will evenly spread the weight of the machine out and ensure that the machine is level. Some machines do require manual leveling, but typically these rental ones have built-in automatic leveling. Here, by pushing this center button, all of the 4 outriggers will go down, the machine will lift up, and I just simply hold the button down. It will automatically level the machine and raise or lower each individual outrigger until the machine is 100% level. Now, what do you even use these boom lifts for, and what do they cost? Typical rental fees for getting an aerial lift, if you bring it home yourself, are going to be between $300 and $600 per day. Now that's a lot of money. You want to try to combine as many jobs as possible. Maybe you wanted to install a light on a high position on your house, clean your chimney, or do some other tree trimming jobs at the same time. Now in this particular day, the jobs I'm going to do is I needed to change a couple of light bulbs on a fixture pretty high up. I wanted to check on top of my radon system to make sure the pipe was still clear because I had some issues with animals in the past. I'm also going to try cleaning my chimney, and last but not least, I need to do some tree trimming, but I'm not recommending you cut down huge branches that could hit the lift. I'm going to do some lighter trimming work on this older tree. This thing is beautiful. It's easily over 40 years old, but it's got a lot of dead growth. I asked a pro what they would charge. They had quoted me around $2,000 to do some trimming because they also said they needed to get a lift. It was going to take them quite a bit of time, so I'm going to try to tackle this myself, and though I may not do as good a job as they would, it's certainly going to be a lot cheaper to get this under the same rental fee. When I was done, I had a lot of dead growth off this tree. Now in the back, I've got this chimney, so once I moved the machine, put out the outriggers, I went ahead and sprayed some 30-second cleaner on this thing. There's a lot of mold and moss. Now you could certainly hit most of this thing from the ground, but with the lift, this is so much easier because now I'm just spraying downward. 30-second cleaner is a funny product. I have no affiliation with that company. I personally really like the product. I know people out there hate it, but I've had good results and it's simple to use. Doused the chimney all over and I gave it about an hour to set up. And then once I rinsed it off, it really was a big improvement. And I also did pop over to take a look at the top of the radon pipe. There were no animals in here, nothing weird going on, and the pipe looks clear. And here's some questions about a lift you may never have heard answers to. The first is, can you have more than one person in a rental lift? Well, the real answer is it depends on the machine. Some machines are rated for up to 3 people, but you want to check with your rental company to make sure you understand what the capacity is and how many people can be in it. What do you do if you get stuck? That's another common question about a lift. But the good news is most rental lifts have 2 sets of controls. Once you had somebody there to help, they would simply operate the machine remotely and they could bring you down even if you weren't able to. What if the entire machine dies, the electric system fails? What can you possibly do? Well, again, these machines often have a manual set of controls. They might be underneath a hidden panel. Those valves can be manually operated without any type of electricity or engine power, and you can again bring the machine down safely. Every homeowner out there knows somebody that has fallen off a ladder, and it can be a pretty bad end result. So if you're ever going to be doing a job that involves getting up high, especially if you've got to do a pretty complicated task, consider renting one of these aerial lifts. And the only regret you may have is spending the money on the rental, but oftentimes you could get more work done in less time. How can you find the equipment you want, especially if you're in a new area and you don't know who rents what? Well, that's where today's sponsor comes in. RentalHQ.com is a website and a mobile app that can help you search every rental shop around the US. And in addition to the equipment rental, you can also get some information about using specific machines, safety instructions, and I do want to thank them for sponsoring today's video. And if you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already for more videos coming up.